Kill your laziness. 1. Laziness is a thief. Laziness don't knock on your door like a bandit ridden in from the hills. It don't wear a mask or wave a pistol. It don't make a sound when it slips into your camp. But make no mistake, it's a thief the most cunning kind, and it robs you blind, not of your wallet or your saddle, but of something you can never buy back, your time. See, money lost can be earned again. A horse wandered off can be tracked down, but once a sunrise is gone, once a day's been wasted sittin' idle, it's gone like smoke on the wind. You can't rope it back in. Laziness knows this, and that's why it don't come with a fight. It just whispers soft, rest a while, you deserve it, tomorrow will do. And while you nod your head, another day slips away. Laziness don't just steal time, it steals chance. That job you could have gone after, that business you could have started, that book you could have written, that skill you could have learned. It's all left on the shelf to gather dust while laziness fills your pockets with empty hours. You tell yourself you'll get to it one day, but one day don't show up on no calendar. Only today does. And when you keep traddin' today for a promise of tomorrow, you're giving your dreams away for free. Folks think laziness is harmless. They reckon it's just restin or tackin' it easy, but the truth is laziness is sly. It don't come at you head on like hunger or cold, those things you fight with grit and steel. Laziness, though, it's the kind that sidles up, puts an arm round your shoulder, and makes you feel good about doing nothing. It pats your back while it empties your future. The saddest thing is, you don't even know you've been robbed until years have gone by. You wake up one day and wonder where your strength went, where your youth went, where all those big plans went. They didn't vanish. They were stolen. One wasted morning, one ignored chore, one skipped opportunity at a time. Laziness don't gut you in a single strike. It bleeds you slow, so you don't notice till the tanks run dry. But here's the truth you need to bite down on. Laziness only wins if you let it. It's a thief that waits for permission. It can whisper, but it can't chain you down. You're the one that chooses the bed over the boots, the couch over the workbench, the idle scroll over the sweat of labor. You're the one that hands over the keys. So the only way to beat this thief is to stop listening, stop bargaining. When it whispers later, you answer back now. When it says, take it easy, you say, not today. You rise up, shake off the dust, and move your hands, your mind, your body towards something that builds instead of rots. You can't keep laziness around like a friendly neighbor. You've got to treat it for what it is, a thief that'll strip you bare if you let it. And once you see it that way, once you feel the anger of all that stolen time, you'll find the fire to shut the door on it for good. So guard your hours like treasure, protect your days like cattle in a storm, use your mornings like they're gold dust in your palm, 'cause that's exactly what they are. Every single sunrise is a gift, a chance, a new frontier that'll never come again. Don't let laziness sneak in and rob you of it. Because when the sun sets and you're sittin' by the fire, the question ain't whether you rested easy, but whether you spent that day like it mattered. And if you can look back and know you fought off the thief, know you made your hours count, then you'll sleep deep with no regrets. 2. Days don't come back. A day is like a coin. You spend it whether you want to or not. From the moment the sun peeks over the ridge till the time it drops behind the far hills, that day is leaving your hand. You can spend it wise, buildin' something solid, or you can let it slip through your fingers like water in a dry creek bed. But one thing's certain, when it's gone, it don't ride back into camp. That's the truth folks don't like to swallow. We live like there's always another day waitin' in the wings, like time's some endless herd that'll never thin out. But every sunrise is one less you'll see. Every sunset is a door clossin' behind you, and once it's shut, you don't get to open it again. You don't get to trade regrets for a second chance. Days don't come back. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll do it tomorrow? Tomorrow sounds kind, like an old friend who'll always be there. But the truth is, tomorrow is just a ghost until it shows up. Today's the only ground your boots can actually stand on. Put off livin', and tomorrow becomes a graveyard full of what could have been. It's a funny thing how we treat time. A man will guard his money like a rattler coiled round his boot, but he'll throw away his hours like they ain't worth a nickel. He'll work long nights to keep a few dollars safe, but he'll waste whole weeks in idleness, never realizing those hours are more precious than gold. Money lost can be earned again, but once a sunrise is spent, that's it. It's gone into the canyon and won't echo back. You ever watch the way the seasons change? Spring don't ask if you're ready. Summer don't wait for you to get your chores done. Fall don't slow down 'cause you slept late. Time moves whether you move with it or not. And if you don't use the day you're given, the world will carry on without you, leaving you standing still while life gallops on ahead. That's why you've got to hold each day like it's a gift. Treat it like it's the only one you'll ever have, because one day you'll be right. You don't need to cram it full of noise and busyness, but you do need to make it count. Plant something, build something, learn something, love somebody. Work with your hands till you can see the fruit of your labor, because when the sun dips and the stars scatter across the sky, you'll want to look back, and you didn't waste it. Now some folks say, what if I fail? What if I work and it comes to nothing? But let me tell you, failure after a hard day's try is still worth more than idleness. At least you'll have a scar, a story, proof that you lived that day instead of watching it pass from the sideline. A man can rise again from failure, but no man ever rises from wasted time. And here's the bitter truth, the older you get, the faster days ride by. What felt like a long summer when you were young turns into a blink as the years pile on. That's when the weight of wasted time hits hardest, when you realize you ain't got as many coins left in your pocket as you once thought. So don't wait. Don't bargain with the hours like you've got a warehouse full of 'em sittin' out back. Live the day you've been given. Rise with the sun, push your body, sharpen your mind, do the work that matters. Don't trade this sunrise for the comfort of maybe tomorrow. Because when the last page of your story gets written, it won't be the easy days you remember, but the ones you wrung dry of their worth, the ones you didn't let slip away. Days don't come back, so live 'em like you know the truth. 3. Excuses are poison excuses. They're smoother than snake oil, easier to swallow than whiskey, and twice as deadly. They don't burn your throat going down, but they rot you from the inside out. A man don't fail 'cause the mountain's too high or the load's too heavy. He fails 'cause he keeps drinkin' the poison of excuses. See, an excuse is a soft pillow. It makes failure comfortable. It tells you it ain't your fault, the weather was bad, folks didn't support you, you didn't have the tools, the time, the chance. Excuses wrap around you like a warm blanket, and before long, you're sittin' by the fire cold and empty, wonderin' why your life feels hollow. Truth is, you traded your grit for comfort, and comfort don't build nothin' but regret. Excuses are liars dressed up as friends. They sound gentle, but every one you swallow weakens you a little more. They take your willpower, your hunger, your drive, and they kill 'em slow. You don't notice at first. You just feel a little lighter, a little freer for not carrying responsibility. But then the years pile on, and you see what's been lost. You see the barns you never built, the trails you never rode, the life you could have had if you'd spat out those excuses instead of sippin' on 'em. Now, let me tell you, hardship is real. Storms come, markets fall, people betray you. Life throws rocks, that's the truth, but here's the difference. The strong look at those rocks and stack 'em into a foundation. The weak point at the rocks and say, that's why I never built nothin'. Same stones, different hands. Excuses are just the weak man's way of justifying why he never swung the hammer, and here's the worst part excuses spread. Like poison in the creek, it don't just stay in one corner. You make an excuse today for why you didn't get up early. Tomorrow it'll be why you didn't finish your work. Next week it'll be why your dreams are still sittin' on the shelf. Before long, your whole life is one long explanation for why you never became who you were meant to be. Excuses don't just steal your present, they rob your future. Every time you let yourself off the hook, you're teaching your own soul that weakness is acceptable, that failure's just fine if you've got a good enough story to back it up. And the more you tell that story, the more you believe it, until you're living in a world built on lies you told yourself. But here's the truth, raw and hard as a fence post in winter. Nobody cares about your excuses. The world ain't waiting to hear why you didn't try. It don't hand out medals for the best reasons not to finish. Results are what matter. Did you plant the seed? Did you raise the barn? Did you take the chance? Or did you sit around talking about why you couldn't? Excuses may feel sweet for a moment, but they turn bitter fast, and the only cure for that poison is responsibility. Stand up, look yourself in the mirror, and say, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Don't blame the weather, the market, or the man down the road. Don't blame your raisin, your lack of tools, or your hard luck. None of those can stop a soul that refuses to quit, but excuses will. So the next time your tongue wants to form the words, I couldn't cause, stop. Bite it off, swallow pride, not poison, own your mistakes, learn from them, and then get back in the saddle, because every excuse you kill is another chain off your back, another step toward the life you were meant to live. Excuses are poison. Stop drinking 'em, pour 'em out on the ground, and walk away. The strong survive not because the road's easy, but because they refuse to sip the poison that makes the road impossible. 4. Attack it like a snake. There are some things in life you don't play with, you don't pet, and you sure don't ignore. A rattlesnake coiled in your bedroll is one of them. Laziness is the same. You don't sit there negotiate in with it, hop, and it won't bite. You don't try to make peace with it or let it hang around the edge of your camp. No, when you see it, you strike hard and fast. Because if you don't, it'll strike you, and by the time you realize the damage, the venom's already in your veins. That's how laziness works. It don't always look dangerous. Sometimes it looks comfortable, like a soft chair, a warm blanket, a few more minutes of sleep. It don't hiss loud at first. It just whispers, take it easy, you've earned it. And if you let it coil up in your camp, before long it'll own the whole place. The trouble with treat and laziness lightly is that it grows bold. If you let it stay, if you make room for it, it don't shrink, it spreads. Soon enough, you're not just restin in the morning, you're avoid in chores, pushing off work, dodging responsibility. The snake gets bigger, the hiss gets louder, and then one day you wake up bit, wondering why you've got no energy, no drive, no purpose. The venom has done its work. That's why you've got to treat laziness the way you'd treat a rattler. No hesitation, no mercy. You grab your shovel, your stick, your boot heel, and you end it before it ends you. You cut it down at the first sign before it has a chance to sink its fangs in. Now, that don't mean the fight is easy. Just like killing a rattler, fighting laziness requires courage and action. You've got to move when your body screams to stay still. You've got to swing when your arms feel heavy. You've got to act before your mind talks you out of it. But once you've done it, once you've taken that first strike, you'll feel the freedom of knowing you're in control, not the snake. Some folks think they can manage laziness. They tell themselves, I'll just take a little break, I'll do it later. But let me tell you something, you don't manage rattlesnakes, you kill them. Same goes here. If you give laziness an inch, it'll take your whole mile. If you give it today, it'll come back for tomorrow. If you let it share your campfire, pretty soon it owns your tent. And here's the secret most folks don't want to hear. The best way to kill laziness is action. Plain, simple action, not thinking, not planning, not waiting for the right mood. You swing the axe, you step outside, you do the thing before your mind has a chance to talk you down. That's the strike. That's the shovel coming down on the snake, and once you build the habit of stricken first, laziness won't have a chance to coil up again. There's also a strange satisfaction in it. Just like a man feels a certain pride after killing a rattler near camp protecting his own, There's a pride in standin' tall at the end of the day, knowin' you didn't let laziness bite you, knowin' you swung when it mattered, acted when it counted. That pride builds confidence, and confidence builds momentum. Each snake you kill makes you braver for the next one. So don't pet it. Don't pity it. Don't tell yourself it ain't so bad. A rattlesnake don't need but one strike to ruin your day, and laziness don't need but one foothold to ruin your life. Attack it like a snake. Fast, hard, no hesitation. Swing with all you've got, and don't stop till it's dead. Because here's the hard truth. The ones who succeed in life ain't the ones who never see a snake. They're the ones who kill it when it shows up. And if you want to build a life worth living, you've got to make sure your camp is snake-free. 5. Sweat brings pride. Most folks run from sweat like it's a curse. They act like the sting in their eyes, the ache in their muscles, the dirt under their fingernails is some kind of punishment. But let me tell you the truth, plain and unvarnished. Sweat is a man's proof he showed up to the fight. Sweat is the mark that says you gave the day your best. Sweat brings pride. See, there's two kinds of tired at the end of a day. There's the tired of a man who wasted his hours sittin' around, and there's the tired of a man who poured his strength into something real. The first kind of tired feels heavy, hollow, like you just drifted through time. But the second kind, the sweat-soaked kind, feels different. It feels solid. It feels like you earned your pillow, like you left something of yourself out in the world that'll last longer than the daylight. Sweat don't just fall from labor, it falls from progress. Every bead that rolls down your back is a reminder you didn't sit idle. You didn't let laziness win. It's the body's way of saying, I'm alive, I'm working, I'm building. And when you've been through it, when your shirt's wet, your hands are raw, and your muscles are humming, there's a deep pride that no easy comfort can give. Trouble is, we live in a world that worships shortcuts. Folks want the reward without the grind, the harvest without the plowing, the comfort without the work. But sweat is the toll every man must pay to cross into pride. You can dodge it if you want. Stay soft, stay lazy, but don't expect pride to follow you home. Pride don't live in the shade of comfort. It lives under the sun, in the heat, in the strain of pushin' past what you thought you could bear. And let me tell you somethings. Sweat don't lie. You can talk big, dream big, promise big, but sweat is proof. It's evidence that your words weren't just smoke on the wind. A man can boast all day about what he's gonna do, but when you see him bent over with calloused hands, shirt clingin' to his back, dirt on his brow, that's a man who don't need to boast. His sweat tells the story for him. The pride sweat brings ain't just about the task either. It's about knowing you fought yourself and won. Every time you work past the point where you wanted to quit, you kill a little piece of weakness inside. That's where real strength comes from. Not from fancy speeches or easy victories, but from sweatin' through the hard parts and comin' out the other side standin' tall. There's also a sweetness in sweat that lazy folks will never taste. It's in the moment you sit down after a hard day's work, muscles sore but heart full. It's in seeing a fence line stretch across the horizon that you built with your own hands. It's in hearing the crackle of a fire after you split the wood yourself. Those moments fill a man with quiet pride, the kind that don't need applause or recognition. Just the knowledge deep down, I did that, I earned this rest. And don't make the mistake of thinking pride comes easy. It's not handed out. It's forged in the grind, in the heat, in the sweat that pours when you refuse to quit. That's why pride feels so good. It's rare, it's costly, and the only way to get it is to pay with sweat. So the next time sweat starts rolling down your back, don't curse it, don't run from it, welcome it, because every drop is a receipt for progress, a down payment on pride. Sweat is the bridge between dream and reality, between wantin' and havin'. And the man who learns to embrace it, who chases it even, will find himself richer in pride than the laziest soul could ever imagine. Sweat brings pride, and that pride will carry you through storms, through setbacks, through the darkest nights. Because once you know the worth of sweat, you'll never trade it for the emptiness of ease. 6. Discipline is freedom now that may sound backward to some ears. Discipline and freedom ain't those opposites. Ain't freedom doin' what you want when you want without no one tellin' you otherwise. That's what most folks think, but let me tell you straight. The man with no discipline ain't free, he's a slave. Bound hand and foot to his laziness, his appetites, his distractions. True freedom don't come from doin' whatever pleases you. It comes from masterin' yourself. That's the trail discipline leads you down. Think on it. A man who eats whatever he craves whenever he craves it soon finds himself weak, sick, and dependent. A man who sleeps whenever his body says lay down finds his day's half gone before he's even up. A man who never says no to comfort will find his life ruled by it. That ain't freedom. That's a cage built out of softness. Discipline, though, it's the key that opens the gate. The man who rises when the rooster crows, whether he feels like it or not, has the whole day stretched out before him. The man who works when it's hard, when it's hot, when it hurts, finds he can carry burdens others can't even lift. The man who sets rules for himself and keeps 'em, he don't answer to his laziness, his cravings, or his excuses. He answers only to his purpose. That, my friend, is freedom. Most folks mistake discipline for chains because they only see the early part, the part where it stings. Whacking up before dawn when the bed feels warm. Pushing your body when it aches, saying no to what you want in the moment for what you want in the long run. That's the hard front end of discipline, but stick with it and you'll see the back end is why. Dopin' freedom. Freedom to live strong, freedom to chase dreams, freedom to stand tall because you ain't ruled by weakness. A cowboy who don't keep discipline loses more than time. He loses trust. His horse don't get fed on schedule. His fences fall into ruin. His herd scatters. A ranch without discipline becomes chaos. Same with a life. Without discipline, everything falls apart. But with it, every part of life lines up. Your health, your work, your word, your reputation. And once a man's got that order in himself, he's freer than the wildest drifter on the open plains. See, the truth is, discipline gives you choices. Laziness takes them away. The man who spent his youth sittin' idle won't have the choice later to live strong, to work long, to chase bold dreams. His body and spirit won't carry him. But the man who lived disciplined, who trained himself, who sharpened his will, he's free to go further, to reach higher, to live fuller. Discipline don't limit you, it multiplies you, and here's the kicker. Discipline ain't something you do once. It's a daily practice. Like roppin' or riddin', you get better the more you do it. Every time you tell your body get up when it says lay down, every time you choose sweat over comfort, every time you hold yourself to a higher standard, you're built in a freedom most folks will never know. Some may sneer at discipline, call it old-fashioned or harsh. Let 'em. While they're bound to their laziness, drift in wherever their weakness blows 'em. You'll be ridden your own trail, free and clear. Because you trained yourself to do what needed done, whether you felt like it or not. And that's a man no storm, no temptation, no excuse can control. So remember this, discipline ain't chains, it's wings. It don't lock you down, it lifts you up. It don't steal your freedom, it gives you the only kind of freedom that lasts. The freedom to live strong, live honest, live without regret. Discipline is freedom. And the man who learns that truth early and lives by it daily will never again bow to laziness, excuses, or weakness. He'll walk free because he owns himself, and that's the greatest freedom there is. Kill your laziness, so here we are, after ridden 6 long trails, all of them lead into the same truth. Laziness is the enemy, and if you don't kill it, it'll kill the life you were meant to live. We've seen it for what it is. A thief that steals your hours, a snake that slips into your bedroll, a poison that tastes sweet but leaves you weak. We've seen how each day is a coin you spend once and never again. We've seen how excuses rot a man from the inside, and how only sweat can buy you the pride of a life well lived. And we've seen the truth that discipline, far from bane chains, is the only real freedom a man can ever know. All of it points to one thing. You don't drift into a strong life, you build it. And you don't build it with good intentions or sweet talk. You build it with grit, with labor, with choices made in the hard moments. You build it by killing laziness every time it tries to coil up in your camp. Maybe you've wasted time before. Maybe you've let excuses take root, let days slip by, let comfort rule your choices. Fine. That's the past, but the sun's risen again tomorrow, and you'll hold another coin in your hand. What'll you do with it? Will you hand it to laziness, let it steal another day, or will you grip it tight and spend it on something that lasts? The choice is yours. Always has been, always will be. So rise early, work hard, sweat proud, kill excuses before they speak. Strike laziness like the snake it is, and live disciplined so you can walk free. Do this, and when the fire burns low at the end of your days, you won't sit there full of regret. You'll sit there full of pride. No, in you fought the good fight and lived the life you were called to. Don't wait, don't hope, don't promise tomorrow. The only time you've got is today. Kill your laziness now, and you'll win back the life it's been trying to steal.